My name is Cheryl Black, and I'm a computer information systems student here at Jefferson State Community College. In fact, I just graduated this summer with my associate in applied science. And I was asked to give you my story about my experience at Jeff State. 2 years ago, I walked into the Pell City campus with my husband. He is from Australia, and we had a business and we sold it. And we were looking for something different, and I wasn't going to go to school. It was only going to be him. I was only there for the support. And I learned about a woman named LaTanya Williams, and she was with WIA, which is Workforce Investment Act, and they basically help dislocated workers, which is what we were. So we go in there, and I'm just there for support, and she's getting all the paperwork ready for Gary, and she says, well, I can send you too. And I automatically said, oh, no, no. I didn't like school the first time. I don't want to do it again. So she was very persistent. She said, well, let me just test you. And so she did, and she said, well, you scored really high on just about everything but math. And I said, well, that's the reason why I don't want to go back to school, because I've never had algebra in high school, and it scares me. So she said, well, you have about an 8th or 9th grade math level. And I said, well, that's probably about true, because that's probably where I had all the business classes from that point on, because we weren't required to have them. So she said, well, you just forgotten a few things. And I said, no, I didn't learn them. So she sent me to the GED office, which was downstairs in the Pell City campus. And even though I had a high school diploma, I enrolled in the GED classes, and they had a machine there, and they had you take this little test to see where you were, and it was this little thing where you fill in the bubbles, and it spits this out what you need work on. So I thought it was great. I sat there, and for 3 weeks I could see myself going from a 9th grade math level to a college level, and I thought, maybe I could actually do this. We started in August, that was in July, and that was 2 years ago, and I graduated this summer with a 4.0 grade point average. And if you'd have told me that 2 years ago, I would have never believed it. But because someone believed in me more than I believed in myself, I was able to do this, and I'm so thankful to her. So that's basically my story of how I got to be a student at Jeff State. To give you a little bit of information about my experience here at Jeff State, when I first started, I was extremely nervous. Being a mature student and being in a class full of a lot of younger kids is a little bit intimidating, and sometimes you're older than some of your instructors. So it was really a scary experience to start out with, but all it took was that first step. And once you get past that first step or the first test, then it's smooth sailing after that. It's very hard, I won't lie to you, it's very hard, but it's very rewarding. And the instructors here, even the employees at Jeff State, they're all willing to help you. If you need help, if you show the desire that you want to learn, they will bend over backwards to help you. I had several instructors that I am actually very close friends with now, and I will actually stay in touch with for the rest of my life. They're just absolutely wonderful, all the way up to the president of the college. This is truly a community college. They really want to reach out to the community and help you. So if you make that first step and you come in, and you asked for help. I had an instructor who spent 3 hours outside of class and this is computer programming, and you just can imagine someone who just knew how to turn a computer on, and that's pretty much it to going into computer programming. So I had an instructor that spent 3 hours outside of class every week helping me, and it really gave me a great foundation for the rest of my classes, and I really attribute a lot of my success to him. Because I teach quilting classes, and so I like teaching beginners because I like to see that light bulb go off in their head. I like to see that I can teach them something that they have never done before. And so the roles were reversed, and I could see the light bulb, he could see the light bulb going off in my head, and it was rewarding for him. And to me, it finally made me realize that these instructors here truly love what they do, and they really, really want to help you. My math instructor, she told me what I had was math anxiety. I didn't know what math anxiety was, but apparently I had it. 40-something years old and have my first panic attack right in the middle of class. But she gave me a book, and she said, this is what it is, and after that I was fine. She gave me a little bit more time to work on my test because I was nervous, and it made all the difference in the world. So if you have the desire to learn, they will just do anything they can to help you. And that goes from the instructors to the people, to the staff. and everyone here. They will help you get your education. So there's financial aid available, and there's WIA, which is the Workforce Investment Act, and there's also the new options. So there's no excuse why you shouldn't be able to do it. If I can do it, anyone can. When this process began for me, I never intended to go past the 2-year degree. I was just so overwhelmed with actually going to school that I told the girl that I was talking to, oh, I'm only going to go for 2 years if I make it through that. Once I got started, I realized I got the school bug, and I decided I wanted to go further. And so this last week was my very first semester at the University of Alabama. So I know that Jeff State has prepared me to earn my bachelor's degree. I'm absolutely certain, beyond a reasonable doubt, that I would not have received the caliber education that I received had I gone anywhere but Jeff State, simply for the fact that the connection with me and the instructors was so close. You know, they were so willing to help me, and they just really motivated me and mentored me, even if they were younger than I. You know, they really helped me see that I wanted to be, that I wanted my goals to stretch even further than I originally thought. So in the process of some of the classes I had, a lot of the instructors said, have you ever thought about being a teacher? And I said, oh, no. They said, well, you're just a born natural. You just can really explain things to people. So what I've been doing over the last couple of years since I've been going to school is tutoring students with dyslexia. My niece has dyslexia, and I became really passionate about that because dyslexic students are very, very smart. They don't necessarily see things backwards. They just use one side of their brain more than the other. I'm a right brain person, and that means I'm creative and I like the big picture. A left brain person does something else. And very unique people can use both, but it's very rare. So what I'm doing now and what I'm pursuing in my degree is in communicative disorders, and then hopefully I will go on to get a master's in speech pathology, because I am so passionate about helping people learn. When I didn't think that I could do this. I absolutely did not believe it. People would come up to me all the time saying, oh, I'm going to school, and I'd think they're so smart, I could never do that. And now the roles are reversed, and I'm telling people, yes, you can do that, and they don't believe me. But all it takes is that first step. You have to get in there and you have to go research things for yourself. You have to go in and find out what things are available to you. But don't let something like being scared hold you back, because I would have never had this blessing in my life if I had not made that first step. So I just feel incredibly blessed to have been a part of Jeff State, and they'll probably never be able to get rid of me, because I'll be that mop commercial where the mop's hanging behind the tree. Can I come back in? I just really love the school, and I really love the people here, and I really feel blessed to have graduated.